still here. I'm here to tell the story. I was the one that got to live.
For Rasan Hill, playing ball is both a passion and an escape. A brief respite from the dangers that stalk him.
What did you do when you saw the beam on your shirt?
I turned and I just kept running. And at that moment, that's when the bullet went through the shirt.
The 16-year-old surviving a near-fatal shooting last summer. Walking home with friends in West Philadelphia after a pickup basketball game when a group of young people approached them and clashed.
How does it go from guys arguing to someone pulling a gun?
It's just the way the world is nowadays. It's like people feel like they gotta have a gun to, have power.
One bullet grazing his shoulder. It was a near miss. Rasan was lucky. Too often in Philadelphia, someone else's child is not.
A very dangerous night on South Street. 14 people were shot. 3 of those people have now died.
The city of brotherly love, bleeding in bullets.
You just hear it. They just start shooting.
In a nation where gun violence has become an epidemic from city to city, Philadelphia is setting its own grim record. 562 people shot dead last year, the most ever in its history.
Oh my God.
Hundreds more than New York or Los Angeles.
Someone must have got hit.
Philly supposed to be the city of brotherly love, but you got brothers killing brothers.
Tonight we go inside the brutal reality of gun violence with the most vulnerable, the young.
I literally watched my blood leak out.
Digging into why this keeps happening.
You were a shooter, right?
Allegedly.
The city's leaders fighting a battle many admit they are losing.
We're losing generations.
If we have another horrible year, then we have all failed.
While community leaders figuratively and literally doing all they can to stop the bleeding.
Our kids are dying slowly. Our kids have no hope.
This housing project in West Philly is where Rasan spent most of his childhood. The neighborhood, one of the deadliest in the city. The rising high school junior imagining life beyond his hometown.
What's the dream?
To play sports, play football. And if football don't work out, I want to join the Army. I just feel like I'm made to be on the battlefield.
In many ways, he already is.
I'll say a little prayer to myself when I'm walking.
If I may ask, what's the prayer?
I just ask God to, just to watch over me while I'm walking. I make sure I make it home safely. Can't even have fun like nowadays because you got to worry about a stray bullet.
Young black men like Rasan are disproportionately killed and wounded by guns in Philadelphia, comprising 75% of those shot. Gun violence, tragically the leading cause of death for black males between the ages of 15 and 34. For Rasan and his friends, those aren't simply statistics. They're names and faces they know.
So you check on each other every couple days?
Every day.
Every hour of the day.
We always we got a group chat.
We always ask.
You have a group chat?
Yeah, we always ask where y'all at, what y'all doing. Like, good morning, good night.
Show of hands if you know anyone's ever been shot. Show of hands if you know anyone's ever been murdered. Show of hands if it were a relative or friend that was murdered. Have you ever thought about carrying a gun yourself?
No.
No, that's not us. We don't gotta carry a gun to express ourselves,
So how do you stay protected, stay safe?
We stick together.
Stick together.
Watch each other's backs.
Watch our backs.
The sting of a bullet touching the life of Rasan in more ways than one.
It's giving me butterflies. I haven't been back ever since, so it feels very different.
Less than a year after Rasan's close call, his 19-year-old friend Ajane Stenson was shot 3 times in a random incident at the same West Park apartment complex.
The first pop, I'm thinking it hit the metal because I heard the bullet drop. So once that happened, I instantly just froze. I ran that way and went up the steps and I kept running.
You're running for your life?
Yeah, I was terrified.
Returning here now requires armed security guards and emotional support from her pastor and mentor, Reverend Aaron Campbell.
I've buried 5 mentees over the years that were just as close to me. So I was like, oh no, not another one, and not her.
Just 82 days into the year, Ajane quietly became the 460th victim of gun violence.
A 19-year-old girl gets shot 3 times, nearly bleeds to death, and there's no mention in a local newspaper, there's no mention in a local TV station.
Our young people of color are not being valued. Until we all come together and begin valuing them, this will not change. And in fact, it will get worse.
Reverend Aaron created Level Up in 2018, a program developed to mentor young people in Philadelphia. Recently, the group provided a home for Ajane and her family. Inside Level Up's headquarters, this local church has become a safe haven for young people, including Ajane and Rasan. The pastor wears many hats: friend, father, therapist,
Who's connected to the Bluetooth?
favorite uncle.
There is a systemic neglect of young people of color. The schools, underfunded, overcrowded. The school to prison pipeline, that's a reality that just can't be neglected. And there needs to be change.
So how can a preacher of a modest-sized church with very cool tattoos impact any of that?
I think talk is cheap, and I just want to let the work speak for itself. These are diamonds in the rough, and they need to be humanized again. This is the conversation. You know?
Aaron has seen the trauma on both sides of a gun, helping the wounded and those who pull the trigger.
Every gathering, we collect knives, tasers, mace. Kids have to carry weapons just to feel safe, but we're always teaching that violence is never the answer.
Some of the kids who come here have shot somebody. What do they tell you?
Self-defense. They shot at me, so I shot back.
Some have described this as social media beefs turned violent. Can you expand upon that?
We live in this day now where someone can just look at someone's Instagram, slide in their DMs, and just begin with the hate.
I got shot by my best friend. It was over a girl.
For Ladonis Q. Arajo, the 25-year-old self-proclaimed Bloods gang member knows firsthand just how quickly the streets could turn on someone in Philadelphia.
The bullet's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Can you feel it? Can you?
Yeah, I can still feel it.
May I?
Yeah, sure. Press right here.
Oh my gosh, wow.
I done been in jail and I done been on a run. And I done been dead. It has 3 places I don't want to go no more.
I don't know whether to say you've been fortunate or you've been cursed.
Honestly, I wouldn't know what to call it. I would just call it life.
Q said the streets began to pull him in by age 12.
I shot my first gun at 11.
At a shooting range?
No. The moment you hit your peak at 12, that's when everything hit you. The world hit you. And you really got to realize either I'm going to be in it or I'm going to be on the side of it.
Now Q, also a member of Level Up, is focused on life on the other side of violence.
What changed?
Me. I didn't want to be dead. And I didn't want to put my mother through that pain.
Our mantra here is that healed people heal people. So as they're experiencing healing, they're going back into their communities as agents of healing.
But for Ajane, the road to healing is not easy. For months, she's been doing grueling physical therapy.
In talking to you, I certainly sense resilience, I sense kindness, I sense optimism, but I don't sense fear or anger.
I'm not really angry with anyone, not even the shooter, because like I said, I never had...
A stranger shot you for no reason and you're not angry with that person?
I don't have no type of hate in my heart for anyone.
None?
None. Nah, don't hate anyone.
Coming up, tough questions for Philly's leaders.
Part of what I hear you say, I think, is there are problems in Philadelphia, but I ain't it.
No, I wouldn't say that.
We've fallen short, quite frankly.
And more mayhem and heartbreak.
We got multiple victims. We got hundreds of people.
You can meet somebody so full of life, and they could be gone just with a snap of a finger.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.